We're England, this is Twickenham, the field of dreams. When you walk on here, you feel 7 foot tall, a real giant.
Careful, Austin.
All right, Shorty. No invention, no purpose. That's what the press have been saying about England over the past year.
They went down against Australia.
They lost to the All Blacks and nearly lost to Argentina.
Then, Austin, there was the Six Nations.
No, there wasn't. It was cancelled.
But it's happened. A victory in Australia for only the 2nd time ever.
Ben Youngs is going to score! Hooter goes. That's more like it. 7 years. It was quite an itch.
4 months on, and here we are.
Here we are indeed. In a World Cup year, are England on the road to success?
We're here at Penny Hill Park, the England training facility, and Austin is going to be getting under the skin of England rugby.
And probably some of the players.
Well, it's less than a year to go until the World Cup, and England face the best side in the world this Saturday. Austin, new season, where are England going?
Well, Abby, if you're a sceptic, you would probably say that this is going to be a hard year for England. But I'm not. I think that the momentum they've gained from that first elusive away win in the Southern Hemisphere against Australia in the summer could really give them the bedrock to build upon. Add that to the vibrancy of the youth in the squad and the fact that they haven't got any injuries this year. Martin Johnson has got a squad that can go places. Finally.
Well, we spoke to Martin Johnson earlier in the week. This is what he had to say.
Well, it's a chance to play against the best teams in the world. That's what you need to do to get better. That's what we did in the summer. We went down and played Australia down there and played midweek games as well. So you have to play the best to improve and to see what the standard is and match yourself with it. So it's a tough series to play 4 on the trot. You have Samoa in there as well, which will be a tough game, but it's a great opportunity for our guys to play the best. Play them at home, our conditions a little bit, the end of their season, so you get the advantages there. And it's I think whenever you get to play against any test match, but B, the All Blacks, South Africa, the Australians, these are what you play for.
So a tough series. But Austin, what do England need to do to beat New Zealand?
Well, Abby Martin said it there. These are the games of their lives, and those young players need to use that to their advantage and become not young and experienced players. These guys have got 5 to 10 caps now, but they need to become seasoned internationals. And it doesn't happen overnight, but these are the big games against New Zealand and Australia and South Africa where you put down that marker and turn into a great class rugby player.
Youngs, Palmer inside to Ashton getting away! And it's another beauty.
That's what Test match rugby against the big teams is all about. But I don't think I've ever been involved with a game or seen the All Blacks play when they haven't been pretty good. So the least they'll be is probably very good. As I said, they've come off the Tri Nations that they've won, been very successful. They know how they want to play, and they execute it pretty well. So you've got to be able to match that. You have to defend very well. You have to take, there's some areas we think we can have a little bit of a go at them, but ultimately you'll probably get 1 or 2 chances, and if you can take 1 or 2 of those, try-wise, score them, exert pressure through the 80 minutes and handle it when they put you under, and you'll find yourself in a game with 5-10 minutes to go, and then it's about finishing it off.
Well, Austin, what do you think of that?
Well, he's absolutely right, Martin Johnson, isn't he? If you're in the game with 5 minutes to go, you've got a chance. But seriously, I think if you can stop New Zealand's main 3 players, and for me that's Nonu in the midfield, you stop his go forward, they lose momentum. If you can charge Carter down and pressurise him, they lose territory. But most importantly, stop McCaw. They lose their captain, the whole game falls apart.
You mentioned Richie McCaw, arguably the best captain in the world. Is Lewis Moody a match for that?
Well, Richie McCaw's got a lot of experience in captaincy. Lewis hasn't, but what Lewis has got in abundance is he's got a magnetic energy. I mean, he's as mad as a bag of frogs, and his energy is infectious to his teammates, and the nation love him for it. But he leads by example, and that's what England need on Saturday.
Who are the players to watch this weekend?
Well, I think Laws for England will have a good game, as will Nonu for New Zealand, but the player for me is Chris Ashton, and the great thing about him is he brings that rugby league mentality of getting his hands on the ball around the breakdown early and making half breaks and offloading. He probably creates as many tries as he scores, and I want to see him score at the weekend for England.
Do you do predictions?
I certainly do, and I think if England go out and play in a different style, play with ambition and control, they can win the game. If they go out and try and slow New Zealand down and it becomes a war of attrition, they will lose, and I think the coaches know that.
Thank you. Now Austin's going to head further inside the England camp with Mike Tyndall.
I'm here in the old England team room and I'm about to play pool against an old England teammate. When I say old, I mean old. His name's Gonzo, a.k.a. Mike Tyndall. Look at that nose. It's got some bend in it. Do you want a break, Mike? Hold on, before you break, I've got a really important question. Are you going to become a member of the royal family this year?
No.
Damn! I could have gone to that wedding. Is the wedding going to be in a castle?
Well, if you keep talking about it, you might uninvite yourself.
It's your shot again. I know it's hard to believe, but I did miss one. I don't know if you can see, but just round here is where me, Tins, Mike Catt, Will Greenwood...
Everyone. Literally everyone
Yeah,
used to play.
The whole team used to be here Friday night.
Jono even used to play.
Yeah, Jono used to play.
Did you pot one then?
No, I didn't.
Standard. Austin is a compulsive winner, and we used to take great pride in stealing his money and then handing it out to the boys and then fixing the cards, so he always had the best hand, but we'd already have his money that we'd robbed from his room. He couldn't quite get it that we'd fixed it, and he was like, well, you still owe me all the money. No, we don't. We never did.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
And you've waited 8 years to tell me?
It's all just sprung back to mind.
Well, that's the end of the interview.
I was in the '99 World Cup, wasn't I?
God, you were lucky to be picked for that.
For me, it's more about getting those performances, you know, getting a belief that you've gone out there and you can play and you can actually just compete by playing, and, you know, that's the big goal for us now, from my point of view, is to make sure that when we go out there, you know, we get our performance right. We don't just win ugly. You know, you look at some of the Six Nations games of the year, we won ugly, didn't we? And
why don't you want to win ugly?
so I have to look at this every day.
How the hell have you got more caps than me?
Well, you have to remember that 40 of yours are off the bench.
Well, tends to come down to this. 11 years in the England squad. You've never beat me at anything in this room. This is possibly the chance to have the highlight of your career.
It is. I'm a little bit nervous.
Use your nose for alignment.
But, as they say, this is how they do it in the pros.
Oh! Mike Tyndall loses at pool to a world champion, but hopefully not at the weekend. Well, coming up now, Abi's joined by an England rugby player in a situation where you wouldn't really expect to find them. Well, not until after a game. It's our new feature, Pub or Tub.
Paul, thanks for coming down today.
It's nice to be here.
Okay, so how this is going to work is I'm going to ask you a question. If you get it right, we go straight to the pub. I pour you your favourite drink, which is...
It'd have to be a Cosmopolitan, I think.
Cosmopolitan.
Yeah, on a Wednesday, Cosmopolitans.
Only Wednesdays.
Only Wednesdays.
All right, so on the other hand, if you get it wrong, we are going straight to a tub.
Okay, cold
In the
tub.
middle of the pitch, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so here's the
Better get it
question.
right.
Brace yourself. What are New Zealand most famous for? Is it Marlborough wine? Is it the Hacker? Is it Lord of the Rings?
Marlborough wine.
Oh, so close! But you got the wrong one.
Oh, no.
Marlborough wine, they had a festival last year, it sold 8,000 tickets, but Lord of the Rings grossed about $3 billion.
I don't believe that.
So, straight to the tub.
To the tub.
To the tub.
Come on then. It's a long way.
As soon as you arrived, what did the rest of the squad nickname you?
BLT, yeah. Which is Big, Lean and Tan. I don't get enough time to do things like this, that's the problem. A lovely warm bath in the middle of Twickenham is, you know, who could ask for more?
Okay, well, who described you as far too good-looking and tanned for a tight head prop?
It's got to be one of the coaches, isn't
Yep.
it? Let's go. Roundtree.
Yes. How would you describe him?
Graham Roundtree, quickly, he's very approachable, knowledgeable, and somebody I suppose you could go for a pint with.
Okay, who said you move well for a big man after the first time that he'd ever seen you play?
Oh, was it playing? I thought that might have been on the dance floor.
No. Certain dance theme going on here now.
Jono maybe, or
No.
or Brian Smith.
Yeah.
it?
Do you
Yeah.
move well for a big man on the dance floor?
I'm a terrible dancer, Abby.
Oh, no.
Terrible.
Oh,
Would
we
you
just
believe?
lost one of the little ducks.
Don't worry, you'll be all right.
He's got
Sort
the
him out,
big one
Fred.
there.
Sort him out.
Oh no, so no rhythm.
No, terrible rhythm. Would you
Oh, what a
believe?
shame.
Yeah.
Who is your ideal pub quiz partner?
Well, none of the boys, because we had one on Monday and we were all terrible.
Okay, let's continue with this fun theme. If you had to have some kind of race, like a three-legged race,
Yeah.
who would you least like to be on your team?
Somebody with enormous long legs. I think Courtney Laws would probably just leave me for dead and I'll just fall over and skin my face. Or,
So it's all out of
yeah,
balance.
yeah, exactly. You need somebody who's similar pace and size. I think.
Yeah, exactly. Now, when was your England debut?
It was this time last year.
The exact date, mister.
15th of November.
Oh, no.
16th of November.
No.
It was the 15th of
No,
November.
it's the 14th.
14th.
14th of November. And not wanting to belittle that debut, but how many props were injured before they came to you?
I think I was about 107th in line. Nobody had ever heard of me, and when I got pulled up, everyone was like, "Who is that?" I never heard of him. But every man and his dog was injured, so I reckon it must have been about 10th or 11th. I reckon
It was 10th.
something like that.
If you'd been injured, who would they gone to next?
I have no idea. I think probably some bloke on the street. They would have pulled them out of the pub down the road and stopped him sipping his beer and said, "Could you play prop for us this weekend?"
He likes that duck, doesn't he? It's a bit strange. Anyway, if anyone's at Twickenham at the weekend, they see Paul, ask him if we can have our duck back. We're going to need it next week. But seriously, my final word on the matter is New Zealand at Twickenham doesn't get any bigger. This is a massive game for a new squad. Let's get behind them because who knows? It could be the start of something special.
Next time on O2 Inside Line, Mark Cueto gives us the full treatment inside the camp.
Get his camera over here.